Storytelling is a negotiation, a symbiotic relationship between the storyteller and the audience, but the boundaries of that negotiation can radically change between mediums. Different types of audience involvements changes everything, and when it comes to video games, the Master Chief is one of the most fascinating examples of creating a protagonist that can only seemingly work and prosper in a purely vicarious mode of address. Because here's a guy who has no face, who speaks only in short sentences and dramatic one-liners.
Tell that to the Covenant.
And has a backstory that was originally just a paragraph in a manual, but works unlike in a film or a book because he's a character that can exist vividly because of the staging and the reactions around him. He's quite poignant as a character because of the way the world reflects his identity back to him. Discounting the books, the comics, and other media stuff, the Master Chief in the original trilogy is purely characterized as being the last super soldier left from the Spartan program. And if you go back to Halo 1, it's literally just about humans are trying to escape from aliens and then finds a planet-sized hula hoop, crashes on it, discovers zombies, and then the Master Chief blows it up. There are about 3 characters that are prominent outside of the Chief, no real character arcs or developments. Instead, the only sense of development comes from the sense of escalation from the environment and set pieces. If this was just a narrative on its own, it would be considered so underwritten, but because it's a video game, our existential emptiness from the lack of written characterization is actually immediately filled in by the interactive involvement. The staging of the story is more impactful than the content of the writing. Or better yet, they're one and the same, but whatever.
The success of the story is we didn't pump a lot of time into figuring out who the Master Chief was and why he was a ghost in the shell. We thought he is a husk. He's a big green suit of armor that you move around.
There's something good about having the Master Chief essentially be a blank slate that helps each individual person connect to the character.
Something as simple as seeing the grunt run away from you in fear tells a story by itself. There's no need for any cutscenes or dialogue about how powerful the Master Chief is, or the mythology between him and the Covenant. That reaction says it all, because the identity of the Master Chief is that reaction. As Charles Cooley proposed in the Looking Glass theory, you are not who you are who you think other people think you are. Our sense of self-concept and identity is not independent, it fundamentally exists as a result from interactions with others, as a result of socialization, and that's what video games as a medium has that books and films don't have as a means of conveying character.
Sir, thank God you're here. We've been lost out here for hours. After we lost contact with the rest of the mission, we headed for the RV point, and then these things, they ambushed us. We gotta get out of here.
Which is using the socialization process as an arm for the story. And this is also firmly established in the first level of Halo 1. The whole opening minutes of the game is being greeted with respect, and then seeing the ship fall apart around you. Everyone being overwhelmed, you are unarmed, so all you can do is run and experience the rush of disempowerment. But when you're given the Magnum, you can immediately turn the tide. It's a power fantasy, but it's an expertly and subtly sophisticated one, because the consequences of that power without ever being unnatural is explored in different shades of the set pieces. One of which is the loneliness in power. Marines will react to you with a sense of awe, but on missions you are always the last one standing. Everyone is disposable but you. You are the last Spartan, the last super soldier, the last person who can get the shit done. Or other factors, such as how grunts are always afraid of you, but when you encounter the Floods, suddenly you realize you're not the apex predator in the environment now. And that sense of isolation is made poignant because it's never spoken, only experienced. The sense of identity is all concentrated in this moving relationship of the stage. The other component that completes the character is this fascinating cycle of action and story. The only way to interact with the world is to fight. Here's a location, kill all the Covenant even though the odds are completely against you. But unlike a lot of other games when this one-man army mentality is present, it normally doesn't make too much sense, like in the old Call of Duty Modern Warfare campaigns, which try to put you in the perspective of an average soldier, but you're also expected to slaughter 100 other soldiers in every mission, and then single-handedly stop an entire invasion by Modern Warfare 3. But for the Master Chief, his superiority actually works because the action mirrors the simple story, which then makes the character vivid.
I don't want to play a game that makes me cry necessarily. I want to make a game that makes me go, yeah, did you see what I just did to that guy when he came around the rock? Oh my God, it was so good. I mean, when was the last time you read a book and had that reaction? When was the last time you went to a movie and did that? I mean, games, there's so many other emotions that they're better equipped to satisfy, to draw out. Why don't we make people laugh or cheer? So I think it's just about what emotions you value and understanding what games do best.
This foresight simply creates a higher level of harmony, of relevance, that very subtly diffuses the problem with ludonarrative dissonance. You don't have the problem of the story saying one thing, but the gameplay is saying another. Unless you kill Marines.
Thank you, sir. May I have another? Not!
Or if you play co-op. In other words, everything is tight because everything is relevant. How you feel in the set pieces describes the Master Chief's validity. That sense of loneliness and power is exactly and sharply who the Master Chief is. He's powerful and lonely, which is I think what made the ending to Halo 3 so satisfying.
Wake me when you need me.
He goes back into the cryo chamber in space, awaiting for the next time he's needed. Presenting any other sentiment would have been irrelevant. The Arbiter is a different matter. He actually has an arc and has written characterization that drives the story. He tells a tale of redemption, betrayal, revelation, and religious existentialism. And as much as I love the story of Halo 2 and the Arbiter as a character in general, for me something is immediately lost with him. There's something about having your identity and characterization handed to you in a Halo game that made me feel, well, it made me immediately lose some of my attention in how the little details around the world pronounce themselves. A sense of a deep immersion is lessened. And this is made worse in Halo 4 and 5, where 343 tried to make Master Chief more generic and conventionally constructed.
Master Chief is human. He's not a machine. He's not a set of armor with a big weapon. He's a human with resilience.
Now he's a sad man with feelings. It ended up ruining the character for me because now there's something in between me and the Chief. His actions aren't my actions. His relationship with the stage isn't my relationship with the stage. Instead, there's less of a sense of personal vicariousness that I can smoothly exert into, because the writing is actively trying to mediate how I should involve myself in terms of identification. And I think this highlights the most ironic thing, which is that video games don't have to be like movies. You don't always need motion capture, expensive voice actors, celebrities, or elaborate movie-like expensive cutscenes. All you need is a stage that can react to you in a way that no other medium can accomplish. Sometimes all you need is just a grunt.
No problem.